Have you ever met someone who could command a room without ever raising their voice? Someone whose words, though few, carried weight, stirring thought, commanding respect, and leaving a lasting mark. In a world drowning in noise, we often mistake more words for more influence. But the Stoics knew better. True power lies not in speaking endlessly, but in speaking wisely. Words, like arrows, must be aimed with precision. The more we say, the more we risk losing meaning. But when we strip away the unnecessary, what remains is pure, undeniable impact. Imagine captivating others with a single, well-placed sentence, inspiring action with a pause as much as with a phrase. What if the key to being truly heard wasn't about speaking more, but about speaking less with purpose? Today, we'll explore the ancient art of measured speech, the power of restraint, clarity, and intention. By the end of this, you may just find that silence, too, has a voice. Stay with me, because learning to say less might just be the most powerful lesson you'll ever learn. Chapter 1. The Science of Silence. In a world addicted to noise, silence is a forgotten discipline. We rush to fill every pause, fearing that stillness makes us weak. But the Stoics knew the truth. Restraint is strength, and silence is often the most powerful response. Silence is not just the absence of speech. It is a test of self-mastery. The impatient mind speaks to fill the void, but the disciplined mind waits, observes, and chooses its words with intention. The one who controls his tongue controls himself. A well-timed pause projects confidence, forces others to listen, and gives weight to what is said next. By embracing silence, you break free from the need to react impulsively. You learn to resist the pull of empty chatter and reckless words. You create space, not only for others to speak, but for yourself to think. A measured response carries more wisdom than a rushed reply. Imagine pausing before you answer, letting others lean into the silence. That quiet moment is not weakness. It is command. It is the mark of a mind at peace, undisturbed by the need for constant validation. Mastering silence is mastering yourself. And when you do, you'll find that saying less is not just about words. It's about power. Chapter 2. Less is more, the art of precision. In an age of endless noise, true wisdom lies in restraint. We often believe that saying more makes us clearer, that adding words strengthens our message. But in reality, the opposite is true. The more we speak, the more we risk losing our listener. Precision is not just about using fewer words. It's about ensuring that every word carries weight. Too often, we clutter our speech with unnecessary details, thinking they add clarity when they only create confusion. The Stoics taught that power comes from focus, distilling thoughts to their essence. A message free of excess is like a sharpened blade, direct, strong, and impossible to ignore. Think of a great piece of writing. The most impactful lines are not those filled with fluff, but those stripped to their core. When we refine our words, we allow their strength to shine. Speaking with precision commands attention, not by force, but by clarity. It shows respect for the listener's time and ensures that what we say truly resonates. To master this art is to transform the way you communicate. In conversations, presentations, or writing, less is not a limitation. It is an advantage. Every word becomes intentional. Every message becomes memorable. And when you speak, people will listen. Not because you say more, but because you say what matters. Chapter 3. Listening to speak better. A wise man speaks less and listens more. The Stoics understood that true communication is not about asserting yourself. It is about understanding others. To speak with impact, you must first master the art of listening. Most people listen only to reply, waiting for their turn to speak. But real listening is an act of discipline, a practice in patience and self-restraint. It requires silencing your own thoughts, setting aside your ego, and focusing entirely on the other person. When you listen deeply, you gain insight, not only into their words, but into their emotions, intentions, and unspoken truths. Listening is a sign of strength. It creates trust, shows respect, and allows for deeper connections. It also gives you time to pause and reflect, preventing impulsive reactions that lead to misunderstanding. The Stoics believed that measured responses, not rash words, define wisdom. A well-thought-out reply carries far more weight than a hasty remark. Pay attention not just to words, but to tone, body language, and silence itself. These reveal more than speech alone. When you truly listen, your words become sharper, more meaningful, and better received. By mastering listening, you master speech. And when you speak from understanding, not just opinion, your voice carries power. In conversation, as in life, restraint and awareness are the keys to influence. Speak less, listen more, and you will be heard. Chapter 4. The Weight of Every Word. Every word you speak is a reflection of your character. The Stoics understood that language is not just a tool for expression, it is a test of discipline. In a world where words are thrown carelessly into the air, choosing yours with intention sets you apart. Words have power. They can build or destroy, inspire or mislead. A wise person does not speak merely to fill silence or to appear knowledgeable. Instead, they weigh their words, ensuring that each one serves a purpose. Before you speak, ask yourself, does this need to be said? Is it true? Is it beneficial? A well-placed sentence carries more strength than 1,000 empty phrases. The weight of your words is not just in their meaning, but in their restraint. The fewer words you use to express your thoughts, the more powerful those words become. Brevity sharpens clarity, reducing the risk of misunderstanding. The Stoics taught that speech should be measured, deliberate, and free from excess emotion, just as a well-trained mind should be. Equally important is how you speak. Tone, timing, and delivery can make the difference between words that resonate and words that fall flat. When you speak with purpose and confidence, your message is not just heard, it is felt. Mastering the weight of your words means mastering yourself. Speak only when necessary, and when you do, let every word carry meaning. Chapter 5. Mastering Nonverbal Communication. Words are powerful, but they are only part of the message. The Stoics understood that true communication is not just in what we say, but in how we carry ourselves. Your posture, eye contact, facial expressions, and tone of voice often reveal more than words ever could. Every movement speaks. A slouched posture signals insecurity, while standing tall conveys quiet confidence. Crossed arms may suggest defensiveness, while an open stance invites dialogue. A leader does not fidget or shift aimlessly. They remain steady, composed, and intentional. Eye contact, when used wisely, is a sign of presence. It fosters trust and connection. Too little makes you seem uncertain, while too much can feel overpowering. The key is balance. Meeting another's gaze with calm assurance, neither avoiding nor forcing it. Facial expressions shape the perception of your words. A subtle nod can reinforce understanding, while a furrowed brow can introduce doubt. The disciplined individual ensures their expressions align with their message, revealing neither unnecessary emotion nor distraction. Gestures amplify speech when used with purpose. A deliberate hand movement can emphasize a point, but excessive motion dilutes impact. The Stoics taught that control over oneself extends to physical presence. Nothing wasted, everything intentional. Tone carries weight. A steady voice commands attention, while an uneven or rushed tone signals uncertainty. Speak clearly, neither too fast nor too slow, ensuring every word has purpose. Mastering nonverbal communication is mastering presence. The way you hold yourself, the silence you allow, and the energy you project determine how others perceive you. Influence is not always in what is said, but in what is silently conveyed. Chapter 6. Influence through curiosity. True influence is not in the words you speak, but in the questions you ask. The Stoics understood that wisdom comes not from asserting opinions, but from seeking understanding. Curiosity, when guided by reason, fosters connection, deepens insight, and allows you to lead without force. A curious mind does not seek to control a conversation, but to create space for others to think and express themselves. When you ask meaningful questions, you show that you value the other person's perspective. You shift the focus from yourself to them, building trust and opening the door to honest dialogue. This is true influence, not through assertion, but through invitation. Curiosity is not idle questioning. It is asking with purpose. Instead of seeking simple answers, pose questions that challenge assumptions and encourage reflection. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause and ask, what if there's another way? What am I missing? How does this person see the world? In doing so, you cultivate understanding rather than conflict. In disagreement, curiosity tempers the ego. Instead of trying to win, ask, what led you to this belief? Or, how do you see this situation? A well-placed question can dissolve tension and shift resistance into collaboration. Curiosity also strengthens wisdom. The more you seek to understand others, their challenges, motivations, and reasoning, the more precise and effective your own words become. A leader who asks, what do you need to succeed, rather than assuming they know best, builds loyalty and respect. Mastering influence through curiosity requires patience, restraint, and attentiveness. A thoughtful question, asked at the right time, can shift a conversation, unlock new perspectives, and inspire change. The power of curiosity lies not in proving what you know, but in discovering what you have yet to learn. Chapter 7. The silence between the words. We often focus so much on what is said that we overlook the power of what is left unsaid. The Stoics understood that silence is not emptiness. It is presence, patience, and control. The pauses between words are just as meaningful as the words themselves. When used with intention, silence can command attention, invite reflection, and give weight to your message. Most people fear silence, rushing to fill every gap with words. But a well-placed pause allows your message to settle, making it more memorable. Instead of overwhelming your audience with constant speech, let your words breathe. Silence creates space for thought, giving both you and your listener time to absorb meaning. A pause before an important point builds anticipation, drawing others in. When you speak without haste, you project confidence and authority. Those who control their words, rather than letting their words control them, demonstrate true self-mastery. Silence also prevents impulsive reactions. In heated discussions, a moment of stillness can diffuse tension, allowing for reasoned responses instead of emotional outbursts. Silence is not just an absence, it is a statement. A pause after someone shares a difficult truth can express empathy more deeply than any words. In negotiations, silence creates pressure, prompting the other party to reveal more. In leadership, measured pauses give weight to your decisions and presence. To master communication, one must master silence. Speak with intention, but do not fear the spaces in between. In restraint, there is strength. In silence, there is power. Chapter 8. Speaking with purpose. Aligning your words with your values. True power in communication does not come from speaking more, but from speaking with purpose. The Stoics taught that words should serve a higher function, expressing truth, upholding virtue, and guiding action. When your speech aligns with your values, it carries authenticity and conviction, making it more impactful. Speaking with purpose means choosing words with intention. Before you speak, ask yourself, does this need to be said? Does it reflect my principles? Does it serve a meaningful goal? Purposeful speech is not about impressing others or filling silence. It is about ensuring that every word carries weight. In a world filled with noise, clarity is rare. When you speak with focus and discipline, your message cuts through distractions. You eliminate empty words, vague statements, and unnecessary elaboration. What remains is a voice that commands attention, not by volume, but by precision. Aligning your words with your values also strengthens resilience. When your speech is rooted in conviction, criticism does not shake you. You do not waver or seek approval because you know your words stand on a foundation of principle. This inner steadiness is the mark of true confidence and integrity. Purposeful speech is not only about talking, it is about listening. A wise communicator absorbs before they respond, ensuring that their words are both relevant and meaningful. By listening deeply, you shape your message to reflect both truth and understanding. Speaking with purpose transforms how others perceive you. It fosters trust, inspires action, and leaves a lasting impression. When your words reflect who you truly are, they become more than speech. They become a force for change. Chapter 9. The Power of Silence in Leadership. Leadership is not about speaking the most. It is about knowing when to remain silent. The Stoics taught that true authority comes from wisdom, restraint, and the ability to listen with intent. A leader who masters silence creates space for clarity, trust, and deeper engagement. Silence strengthens leadership by fostering active listening. Instead of rushing to respond, a wise leader listens fully, allowing others to express their thoughts without interruption. This signals respect, builds trust, and encourages open dialogue. When people feel heard, they become more invested in the conversation and the mission. A leader's silence also cultivates reflection. In a world that demands quick decisions, the ability to pause and assess situations objectively is rare. Thoughtful silence prevents rash reactions and ensures that actions align with long-term strategy and principles. In moments of tension or crisis, silence is a source of composure. Leaders who remain calm rather than reacting impulsively project strength and stability. A measured pause can de-escalate conflicts, allowing reason to replace emotion. Silence is also a tool of influence. A well-placed pause in conversation creates anticipation, prompting others to listen more attentively. In negotiations, resisting the urge to fill silence forces the other party to reveal more, often shifting the balance of power. To master silence is to master leadership. It is not about withholding speech, but about ensuring that when you do speak, your words carry weight. In restraint, there is strength. In silence, there is impact. Chapter 10. The Silence of Impact. Transforming your communication. Silence is not emptiness, it is presence. The Stoics understood that true power often lies in restraint, in knowing when to hold back, so that when you do speak, your words carry undeniable weight. To master silence is to master communication itself. In a world overflowing with noise, speech loses its value. When you embrace silence, your words gain clarity. Instead of rushing to speak, you allow your message to settle, giving others time to absorb and reflect. A well-placed pause strengthens impact. What is left unsaid often resonates more than what is spoken. Silence also refines thought. When you pause before responding, you prevent impulsive reactions and ensure that your words are deliberate. The Stoics taught that wisdom is not in speaking first, but in speaking well. A moment of silence before answering a question or making a decision signals control and confidence. Beyond words, silence is a tool of influence. A leader who can command silence is perceived as composed and authoritative. In negotiation, the ability to remain silent forces the other party to fill the void, often revealing more than intended. In conflict, silence diffuses tension, creating space for resolution. Most importantly, silence creates space for others. The strongest communicators do not dominate conversations, they listen. A pause invites deeper dialogue, allowing others to share freely. This builds trust, respect, and genuine connection. Mastering silence transforms the way you communicate. Speak less, but with greater intent. Embrace pauses, let your words breathe, and allow silence to do what words cannot. In stillness, there is strength. In silence, there is impact. Chapter 11. Silence in the Digital Age. The Art of Saying Less Online. The digital world is a constant storm of opinions, updates, and distractions. In this environment, silence is a rare but powerful tool. The Stoics understood that control over one's words is control over one's mind. In the digital age, this wisdom is more relevant than ever. Silence online does not mean disengagement, it means intentionality. Instead of reacting to every post, message, or controversy, choose when to speak and when to remain silent. Resisting the urge to comment on every trending issue is an act of discipline. Not every conversation requires your voice, and not every battle is worth fighting. Practicing silence in the digital realm protects your mental clarity. The constant flood of information leads to overwhelm and distraction. By stepping back, filtering out noise, and consuming content mindfully, you regain focus. The ability to pause before responding, whether in an email, social media post, or text, ensures that your words carry weight, not impulse. Silence also strengthens influence. Those who speak less but with precision are heard more. Posting fewer but more meaningful messages commands greater respect than endless chatter. In content creation, intentional silence creates anticipation, making your voice more powerful when it does emerge. Digital silence is also about setting boundaries. The pressure to always be available erodes peace of mind. Choosing when to engage and when to disconnect is an act of self-mastery. Logging off, stepping away, and embracing moments of stillness are not signs of withdrawal, but of control. In a world addicted to noise, silence is a statement. It is a declaration that you will not be ruled by trends, impulses, or the need for validation. It is the art of saying less, but meaning more. Chapter 12. Silence in Leadership, Leading with Fewer Words. Leadership is not about speaking the most, it is about speaking with purpose. The Stoics understood that restraint is a sign of wisdom, and the best leaders lead not by filling the air with words, but by commanding respect through presence, action, and well-timed silence. A leader who listens more than they speak fosters trust and understanding. When you allow others to express their thoughts without interruption, you show that their voices matter. This strengthens teams, encourages collaboration, and empowers individuals to take ownership of their roles. Silence creates space for deeper conversations and better decision-making. In high-pressure situations, a leader's silence is a source of stability. Reacting impulsively can escalate problems, while a measured pause allows emotions to settle and solutions to emerge. The ability to remain calm and composed under stress signals confidence, inspiring others to do the same. Silence also reinforces authority. Those who speak sparingly but with intention are heard more attentively. When a leader chooses their words carefully, people listen, knowing that each statement carries weight. This cultivates a culture where communication is not about noise, but about clarity and impact. Great leaders do not rush to provide all the answers. Instead, they create space for reflection, allowing others to develop solutions on their own. This strengthens problem-solving skills, encourages accountability, and fosters growth. Silence in leadership is not passive, it is intentional. It is the mark of a leader who values wisdom over impulse, clarity over chatter, and action over empty words. Those who master silence lead not just with their voice, but with their presence. Saying less is not about withholding, it's about speaking with purpose. In restraint, there is power. In silence, there is clarity. When you master this, your words gain weight, your presence commands respect, and your connections grow deeper. True influence comes not from saying more, but from knowing when to listen. If this resonated, comment "less but stronger" below. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Our next video will help you sharpen your communication even further. See you there.